Move back now to this presidential news conference, get a fair and balanced conversation going on with some analysis of it. Republican strategist Adam Goodman joins us. Democratic strategist Craig Varoga joins us as well. You think there's some significance there, I thought, as I talked with Blake, Adam, on a couple of different things with the president, and that he's going to testify about this. What do you make of that, and also the answer about the tapes?
Well, first of all, I think it was a master performance. It was so Donald Trump. He dismissed in 7 words all the questions that were on the minds of 98% of the reporters in that room, which is no obstruction, no collusion. He's a leaker. And, of course, he's a leaker is going to become much more prevalent, I think, in the counteroffensive from the White House. He also did this after he had also committed news by saying he was going to support NATO's Article 5, the common defense,
right.
And was backed up by the Romanian president in that. And I think this performance, which everyone expected to be long, full of questions, full of openings, you might say, for further conversation, was probably disappointing to those in the room, but very important to the people of America who are looking for the administration and the country to get back on the track of getting things done. It was a wonderful day for the Trump administration. Well,
he has to, and he's trying to balance that with trying to get back to his agenda. I think you're right in that he did make some news outside of the Comey testimony. The other significant statement, I think, was going after Qatar on terrorism at the beginning of his remarks. But what's your point of view, Craig? Adam says those in the room, meaning the reporters, might have been disappointed. Were you?
Look, I mean, it doesn't matter whether I was disappointed or not. He did not really answer any questions. It's interesting that he said that he would be willing to testify under oath. He should, and not just with the special prosecutor, but I think he should do it in open session in the United States Senate and at the House of Representatives. There are a lot of unanswered questions. This is not going away. Republicans on the Hill are worried about this. Americans want answers. So it's like this was a very controlled environment in which he did not really want to answer questions, and he didn't. But he did make news by saying he would be willing to testify under oath. And, I expect that to be, either walked back or, going to be happening at some, indeterminate future that, may or may not ever happen.
Well, speaking of things that may or may not happen, I mean, the tapes really are fascinating to a lot of people because there seems to be this assumption out there that there are no tapes, that there was talk of them, but do they really exist? And the president didn't really add to that today either, because right now, as you guys know, we have this, as everybody said yesterday, he said, but if there were tapes, then we know what both were really saying. I mean, do either one of you think, you first, Craig, and then Adam can respond, are there tapes, do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, if there are tapes, I think it would be very interesting to listen to them because, we saw in the election last year that Donald Trump will say one thing one day and then say something completely different the next day and then say he never said what he said in the first place. So it's like, praise the Lord if there are tapes and, let's go play them.
What do you think of that, Adam, though, that they might, he's going to answer it, I think he said, in the not-so-distant future, and we may be disappointed when he does.
By the way, I love the words, and you may be disappointed. I mean, he completely controlled the narrative today. I don't know if there are tapes or not.
What does that mean to you? Why would we be disappointed? Because they don't exist, or is that what you think?
Yeah. I'm assuming that's okay. what he meant. But it's Donald Trump, you might say the performer Donald Trump, probably at his best. But what he was trying to do today was get us back in focus. You notice in the very beginning, he talked about his trip abroad and how, as much as Washington's out to try to unite to stop Donald Trump politically, he's out to try to unite the people of the world against terrorism. That's something, a narrative that he can not only sell, but it's, I think, something that the American people want to hear.
All right, can I just add something about the international relations?
On the markets really quick.
I found it interesting that the Romanian president is more concerned about Russians' interference into the domestic affairs of other countries than Donald Trump seems to be.
Well, he was asked about it there by that reporter at the end. Adam and Craig, thanks to both of you.